Give brother and sister minister another hand. In the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the one God to whom we forever give thanks and praise, the finder and life giver to we the 17 to 70 million so-called American Negroes who have been lost here in the hells of North America for the past over 400 years. Yes, we forever thank Allah for coming and finding one worthy among us to put himself into, for reaching down in the sack of dead Negroes and finding one that he could use in this great work of resurrection in the final hours, in the closing down of the Western world of the white man. Yes, sir. We thank Allah for finding among us the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, making him a divine leader, a divine teacher, and a divine guide. That's right. And we will forever be thankful to Allah. And we tell the world that we are thankful to Allah, right, and to his messenger. Listen. For again, reaching down in the sack of dead Negroes. And our actions show that we're still dead Negroes. Oh, yes. Reaching down in the sack of dead Negroes, the two of them, Allah and his messenger, finding one that the two of them could back up. Listen. Finding one that the two of them could put themselves into, which would give him a double portion of spirit for the time in which we have now arrived. Minister Louis Farrakhan, in their three great names, I greet you, my beloved and beautiful black brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I am happy to see you here on this bright Sunday in Los Angeles. Some brothers and sisters have caravan from San Diego to come and hear the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Yes, today we want to talk on Muhammad, yes, the Good Shepherd. Come on, sir. Muhammad, the Good Shepherd. Yes, sir. Islam comes, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us in Message to the Black Man, after everything else has failed. Yes, sir. Islam, I'm going to repeat it, Islam comes to us, the black man and black woman in America, after everything else has failed. Yes, we've tried it all, and it's all failed us. We tried the church, and the church failed us. They gave us a God that looked like our enemy. They gave us a God with blonde hair, blue eyes, and pale skin, looking just like the same peckerwood that turns the key at the jailhouse, looking like the same cold-blooded, cold-hearted peckerwood that wears the black robe that sits at the judge's bench, going into the judge's chamber, sending us away for penitentiary to do time. Looking like the same peckerwood that pulls the trigger on the .357 Magnum that blows us away in the streets all across this country. That's the kind of God that they gave us in the church. They hid the devil right in the church, the best place for the devil to hide. He creeped right up in religion, creeped right up in the church, moved right into the church and hid himself in the church. So the book of Thessalonians said, let no man deceive you, for that day shall not come unless there be a falling away first. It means two things. In this sense and in this instance, it means that there would be a separation. It means that once clearly things could be seen, there would be a falling away or a separation from that we knew not to be in harmony with the divine and universal laws of Almighty God. Let no man deceive you, for that day shall not come unless there being a falling away first, and the man of sin will be revealed. That one that sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself, the Bible says, that he is the God, deceiving the whole world. There he is. Ain't that him? That's it. What did he say? He got the whole world in his hand. Yes, sir. and look at the shape the world is in, because this speck of wood has the whole world in its hand, and show you that this was God. And you such a gopher, you'll go for anything. You went for it. You thought it was God. So for 400 years you believe that this white man is God. The Bible says, he that calls on the name of the Lord God will be saved.
Yes, sir.
If you call on the name of the Lord God, you would be saved.
Yes, sir.
You know we haven't been saved. You know we're catching more hell than anybody on the face of the planet Earth. Why are you catching hell? Why are we in this condition? Why are we at the bottom rung of everything that's going on around the world? Because you haven't been calling on the name of God. It tells you he that calls on the name of the Lord God. Lord can't be his name. God can't be his name. If he's the supreme being, he's got to have a name just like you. The personal and proper name of God, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, is Allah.
Yes, sir.
That's lesson number one.
Yes.
Teaches you in the scripture that the beginning of wisdom is the fear and knowledge of God.
That's right.
You haven't even started to be heavy, the book says. You're not even on the road to wisdom until you have a knowledge of God. And for you, you are a unique people. When you get a knowledge of God, you're also coming into a knowledge of your black self, because God and black are synonymous. The two go together. When you say one, you automatically say another one. The beginning of wisdom is the fear and knowledge of God. But what kind of shape does it put a people in when they're going around worshiping the devil as God? Not following after the way of their original father of the creation, but a people that have been turned over into the hands of a foster father. The devil himself, who holds sway over the whole world. He controls communication. He controls transportation. He controls education, because it's certainly not education. He controls education. He controls everything that involves our everyday activity. A white man. And we go right into church. Mary is white. Jesus is white. Paul and Peter white. Everybody is white. The people standing around in the crowd, they're white. The Last Supper picture, everybody at the table is white. But you're quick to say that God is no respecter of person.
Listen.
If the real God, and that's true.
That's right.
If that is true, then how do you justify a picture like this? If this is the Last Supper, how come the Chinese didn't have a seat at the table that day? How come the Japanese didn't have a seat at the table that day? Huh? Where's the Indian seat? He didn't deserve nothing to eat. And where's your place at the table? If you were there, you must have been in the kitchen, where you always are. You must have been the one preparing everything, or you were going to bust the table after it was all over. Islam comes after everything else has failed. All kinds of leaders have come to us. They just got through showing you how the devil tricks us in religion on the television this week. Some stringy-haired, pale-faced, buck-teeth peckerwood named Jimmy Jones can take hundreds of our people and lead them into a death trap down in Guyana. What kind of people will let a peckerwood lead them? What kind of people will let a shysting cracker lead them? A people that have no leadership. A people that the Bible calls lost sheep. Why does the Bible call you lost sheep? It says that the sheep would be in a house among wolves. And you know for the past 400 years that we've been in a house among wolves. You know that the white man is eating the sheep like wolves since you've been here in America. And you know you've acted like a sheep since you've been here. You're always humble and meek and submissive. Your best leaders that have come on the scene that you would respect, all of them made you act like sheep. Told you that the white man hit you on one cheek, turn the other cheek. That if the white man asked you to go a mile, you should go 2 miles. That if the white man asked you for your coat, you should run him down and give him your pants too. You know they told you to love your enemy. Love those who despitefully misuse you. Not just misuse you, but told you to love those who despitefully misuse you. Say you should pray for them. That you should have love in your heart for them. You know they taught you that, the shepherds that have come before you. Dr. King told you don't fight the white man. And at the same time, don't run from the white man. Say appeal to his moral conscience. That you should learn how to endure pain to the same degree that the peckerwood knew how to inflict pain. Now what kind of fool is that? You raise up the wrong way on an ant. Put your foot down on an ant the wrong way and he can get up that leg some kind of way. Will the ant defend himself?
Yes, sir.
Wear your butt out, won't he?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Will a flea defend himself?
Yes,
Will a cockroach defend himself? Will a rat defend himself? A skunk may not be able to scratch or tear or bite or sting, but the skunk will defend himself. He'll put something on your butt that'll hold you for a while, and nobody else will want to be around you. Everything defends itself. But here you are, 17 to 70 million Negroes who don't want to defend yourself because you've been tricked. You've been robbed right in religion. This devil come in and misused our people in the name of God and in the name of Jesus. This Jim Jones with his nefarious activity could come in and take the lost sheep and scatter them and ultimately cause their death and destruction. You're lost sheep. Anybody can come and lead you. Elijah Muhammad say you're hard-headed, stiff-necked, and rebellious. Hard to lead in the right direction. Easy to lead in the wrong direction. Of people that think it's all right to do wrong and all wrong to do right. That's the way we've been made by our enemy. But that's not your nature. You are a righteous people by nature. You are an upright people by nature. You're not a lazy and a shiftless people by nature. You are builders of civilizations. You are pyramid builders. You are educational center builders for the world. Timbuktu, Mali, Songhai, Ghana. You've given life, light, and energy and civilization to the rest of the world. But you've been robbed completely of a knowledge of self. Scattered throughout the earth, sheep in a house among wolves, lost sheep, lost your name, lost your language, lost your religion, lost your culture, lost your God. And yes, if you will check us out closely, you can see that we've lost our minds by the very condition that we are in. So a Jim Jones can come and take the lost sheep anywhere he wanted to take them. Father Divine came and ran his game on us. Elder Lightfoot Mishu came and ran his game on us. Prophet Jones came and ran his game on us. Pastor Russell and Judge Rutherford of the Jehovah's Witness came in and snatched a great segment of black people and running their game on us. Everybody can come and run their game on you, but they come right up in the church, the best place for the devil to hide.
That's right.
The hierarchy of the Jehovah's Witness is white.
That's right.
President Nahr in Brooklyn is white. National Secretary Souter is white.
That's right.
The whole hierarchy is white. Wasn't Jim Jones' movement, the hierarchy was all white? Why they come after you? Lost sheep. Everybody fights to come after you. They fight to get businesses set up in the areas where you and I live. Why Why? Because they know that we're lost sheep. Chinese and Japanese, they fight over who's going to set up their laundry first.
That's right.
Huh? You go in and some slanted-eyed man standing behind the counter talking, and you got to give him your money. Huh? Or you go in and some Italian peckerwood faces you. Capisce Italiano. Or either they give you the soul brother handshake. They come in and learn you, and then learn what to do to get next to you. What's happening, baby?
Yes, sir.
This is the peckerwood. How you doing, guy? Right on, baby. Solid, man. Come on in and check it out, baby. I got this fine vine. Who is he talking to? You. Why? Then he go through all the handshakes and bumping and going on with you. Lost sheep. So everybody comes in to misuse the lost sheep. The Chinese, the Vietnamese, the Greek, the freak, they all come in to misuse the lost sheep. Every last one. But our topic today is on Muhammad, the good shepherd.
Yes.
Muhammad, the good shepherd that the scripture talks about. Islam comes after everything else has failed us. The church has failed you. For the 2,000 years of up from Jesus, and for the period that the white man, 400 years, 3 to be very specific, because the first 100 years he wouldn't even allow the slaves to read the Bible. Kept it locked up. Why did he lock it up? Because the Bible condemns the white man. Exodus 21:16 says, he that stealeth a man and selleth that man, and if he be caught with that man in his hands, he shall surely be put to death. The white man admits that he stole us. His history books bear witness that he sold us. George Washington had slaves. Old Patrick Henry had slaves. Thomas Jefferson had slaves. All of the founding fathers of this country had slaves. They admit that they sold us, and they sold us, and they stole us. From auction block to auction block, from city to city, they marketed us like nothing but cattle or animals all across this country. The book says, he that stealeth a man and selleth that man, and if he be caught with that man in his hands, he shall surely be put to death. And so the white man is still holding 17 to 70 million hostages in America after holding them for 400 years. We are still in his hands today. The white man did not allow us to read the book for 100 years on the plantation, because another part of the book says, he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that lives by the sword shall die by the sword. Another part of the book says, as thou hast done, so shall it be done unto you.
That's right. Make it plain.
I'm just a lost sheep moving. All right. You know, the lost sheep just say bad. Whatever's happening, the lost sheep just say bad.
Yes, sir.
Completely, or people completely tore up my train of thought. Where was it? Where was it? No, that's not where I was. That lets me know how you were listening. Where was it? You were listening, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
The book condemns him. It says, he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. Another place, I was actually at the next spot where it says, as thou hast done, so shall it be done unto you. Another part of the book says, as you have delighted in taking our blood, we will give you your own blood to drink like water. Several parts of the scripture warn the white man of his conduct. You know the white man couldn't have given us the true religion. He couldn't teach us about the true God. Why? Here you are, and here I am. We're slaves. When we came to America, did we read English?
No, sir.
Did we write English?
No, sir.
Did we speak English?
No, sir.
So the slave master, in order to keep us slaves forever, he didn't just want us to be slaves for 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, or 400 years. He wanted perpetual slavery. And he still does until he kills his slave. The white man in English that we did not know or understand taught us that God was in the sky and the devil was under the ground. Now you know when prayer time rolled around on the plantation, the slave and the slave master couldn't have the same God. How the slave and the slave master gonna have the same God? What would the slave pray for when he got ready to pray? Freedom. What would the slave master pray for? Some more niggas. Some more slaves.
That's right.
So if you were a wise slave master and your slave doesn't speak, read, nor write English, would you teach him about the true God when the book says that the true God would kill him for putting you in slavery? Do you think he would teach about the true God? If you were him, would you do that? No, you shoot their mind up in the sky. Tell them about a pie and the sweet by and by way up in the sky after they die. Nothing sound on the ground while they still around. Tell them that when they die, they're going to grow some wings and fly up in the sky. Every day is going to be Sunday up there. You're going to eat milk and honey every day. The streets going to be paved in gold, and they're going to wear golden slippers. Ain't going to be no work to do in heaven. That's something to tell a slave. Slave is happy to hear that. Ain't going to be no work in heaven. Just going to fly around from cloud to cloud. Just cool it. Just cool it in heaven. No chains or nothing. You get tired of this cloud, you just fly to another cloud. Just ride the clouds. Get on up if you're hungry. Get you a little taste of milk and honey. Because, milk and honey every day in heaven. Now, you know that's mad. This milk and honey is a purgative. It's a laxative. If all you gonna eat is milk and honey in heaven, they better have a lot of holy toilets up there. But you're gonna be in serious trouble. Serious trouble. But this is the kind of slave teaching that they taught us in church that makes it possible for a Jim Jones or a Father Divine or a Prophet Jones or a Prophet Silas Muhammad or one of these other shady fellows to come along and lead the lost sheep astray. Religion is one of the best places for the devil to hide. One of the best places. So they robbed us in religion. And religion has failed you. Religion has not been able to solve our problems at all. We have no knowledge of self, so certainly we couldn't know God. That is the supreme being. Hell, we don't know ourselves, but we know God. You wear a slave master's name. Speak the slave master's language. Got his folkways, his mores, his norms, his culture, his traditions. Celebrate and worship on his holidays. Don't know nothing about ourselves, but we got knowledge of the supreme being. Makes no sense at all. Religion has failed us. I don't care if you were Baptist, Catholic, Holy Roller, Church of God, in Christ, Church of God, under Christ, Church of God, over Christ, Church of God, around Christ, Church of God with no Christ. Whatever it was, it has failed you. The politics of the white man has failed you. His politics has failed you. You've been voting ever since the Peckerwood would let you vote. And what have you got? You don't have a pot nor a window. Do you? You don't have nothing since he been letting you vote. I'm a Democrat. I'm thinking this year about changing over to Republican. You are a fool. That's what you are. I'm voting for Reagan. I'm voting for Carter. I like Kennedy. You just like white folks. Don't make no difference. Just robbed completely of a knowledge of self, lost sheep that will follow anybody. And don't let them be light-skinned with curly hair. You'll follow them all the way to death. Right? When I say you, I mean me. And if it doesn't touch anybody in here directly, it touches us indirectly. Because our people are the same as we. You're not going nowhere without them. And they ain't going nowhere without you. Same dog that bit you, bit me too. We're the same. And they're the same too. Only difference in those of you who are in the Nation of Islam and our brothers and sisters on the street is they're out there on the street bleeding to death, and we're in the hospital bleeding. But we're under emergency attention.
Yes, sir.
The doctor, the good doctor is on the case, working on us, but we still bleeding. You ain't no different from the brother on the street. And we don't want the new believers to think that automatically when you come into the Nation of Islam, you come into a place and a house of together people. You don't come into a house of together people. You come into a house where people have come together because they realized something was wrong with them. You still out there lying to yourself. We realized that we're in bad shape. And so we went to the insane asylum to get ourselves straight because we heard of the man, the Dr. Muhammad, that could get our brains together. So don't be surprised when you come in and you see one walking around spaced and wired up, and another one that's talking crazy. You say, wait a minute, I thought these people were all together. I mean, that shows you how off you are. When you go to a hospital, you expect to find sick folks at the hospital. You don't expect to find no well people at the hospital. Understand, when you come in the Nation of Islam, you come into the hospital. That's what. And you beginning to stop lying to yourself and admit that you need somebody, that you need first aid, you need medical attention, that you need an operation on your brain, a checkup from the neck up. So you come on in. No, this is the bathhouse. Many of you say, well, I would come on in, blood, but I ain't. Y'all too strict, you know. Y'all got it together. We ain't got it together. We washing, we scrubbing, we in the tub. That's all. You don't go to the bathroom and stick your rusty foot off in the commode and try to wash off and then get in the bathtub. And then jump your butt in the bathtub, wash it all off in the face basin, and then get in the bathtub. The purpose of the bathtub is to clean you up. The Nation of Islam is a divine bathtub. That's where we get in to do our scrubbing and our rubbing in the tub to get clean. So if you come in and you smell a little odor on some of the people, some of the things they say to you sounds a little foul. Some of the things you see them into looks a little shady and foul. Hell, you in the bathroom. Everybody in there is trying to get their teeth together, trying to scrub and wash and get the dirt off. But don't think you can get straight and then come in. The Nation of Islam is not a club for together people.
Come on, bro.
The Nation of Islam is the place where we clean up. The Nation of Islam is where we come realizing that this devil has put us in bad shape and that only a divine plan and a divine solution and a divine doctor that God has prepared can cure us and get us out of this condition. Wanted to make that point. Politics has failed you. No peck of wood that has promised you has kept his promise. We've got Carter's whole record right here on the board. Hanging right there, every major issue that's come up during his 4 years, and it shows you that they were not decided in our best interest. But he buck-toothed you and smiled you and read from the Bible on you, came at you in religion, though he was a politician. Told you, I'm a born-again Christian, I'm a Baptist. Didn't he tell you that? And you overlooked everything, because the book say you deaf, dumb, and blind. You overlooked everything. One of the Negro preachers went down into the church where Jimmy Carter grew up. Went there with his Bible in his hand and started to walk in the door, and the deacons blocked him at the door. I said, where you going, nigga? Right. He said, I'm Reverend so-and-so and so-and-so. Jesus is the light of the world. He said, nigga, if you don't get off these steps, we putting your lights up. But he said, but I came, I'm helping President, I'm going to help Governor Carter become the president. Ain't this the church where he grew up? They say, yeah, nigga, he grew up here. He said, well, I'm Reverend so-and-so. We don't care who you are. Don't no niggas come in here. Did they let the nigger preacher in? Then Jimmy Carter say, well, yeah, that's my church. I grew up there. He said he disassociated himself from the church. He grew up there in his knee breeches. Then he fooled you again. Showed you pictures of this sister who took care of him while he was a youngster, this sister that took care of him. I mean, that ain't nothing new. Black women, many of my dears and aunties have to take care of Rusty Peckerwoods all over the country. It was the black woman that brought love into the white home. They didn't have no love in the white home. The white man would leave his dog, the white woman, in the big house and go to the back house where sister was for the real tender loving care, because he couldn't get it from his dog in the front house. Sister would have to nurse her babies and go up to the big house and nurse Miss Ann's baby from her own milk, from her own breast. Many of the top Peckerwoods in this country were reared by black women, nursed and suckled from the breast of black women. Some of the meanest Peckerwoods that came up in this country was suckled and nursed and cared for from the breast of black women. So that ain't nothing heavy, because a Peckerwood named James Earl Carter can show up on the screen with a black woman and say, I've always been close. And anybody will let the old slave come around to the back door and get an old greasy piece of chicken and a buttered biscuit at the back door. That ain't nothing great, but that's the way he came at us. Then, in the name of Jesus, he was able to get the majority of the black voting population that went out to the polls to vote for him. And he tricked you. That's right. Now, old Teddy Kennedy is coming up now. Looks like Carter gonna win again. Him or Reagan gonna win again. Don't make no difference which devil win. What difference it make? And some Negroes in 1980 still running around telling, well, we got to vote. If we don't vote, I mean, if we don't vote, we don't have no voice. You've been voting, you ain't had no voice, fool. Over 522,000 total elected public officials in this country, and you got less than 0.3% of the decision-making positions? You don't even have 1% of the political decision-making positions in this country. 400 years and you ain't got 1%, you got 0.3%. It would take you another 800 years, fool, just to get 1%.
Make it play violence.
And they taking those positions back. Right. Put roller skates under Brooks' butt. Ed Brooke in Massachusetts, the only U.S. black senator there was. Right. Huh? That's right. Wheeled Andy Young's butt out of there so fast it gave everybody swimming in the head. Right. Andy was a big nigga one day, and the next day you looked up, Andy was a nobody. And put this other puppet nigga in there, Mac Henry. I mean, he's a show enough Dr. Thomas. He's professional Uncle Tom. He got his degree. He's Dr. Thomas in 1980. None of them have any power. Tom Bradley, the Jews run this city. A great segment of it. Tom Bradley don't run nothing but his mouth when they tell him to, and ain't gonna run that too much because he wants to get out of that position and move to something higher. And they all depend on them Jews, and they're afraid to offend the Jew. They ain't gonna come out too strong on nothing that's gonna make the Jew mad. Politics has failed you. It hasn't gotten anything for you. Certainly they passed public accommodations bills for you, so you could ride on the front seat of the bus. What damn difference it make if you ride on the front seat of the bus or the back seat? Hell, the bus gonna get there at the same time anyway. The front gonna get there at the same time the back get there. When you gonna get your own bus? Huh? You wanna ride, you gonna argue over a seat. Nigga, get a bus. Argue over no seat. That shows you how deaf, dumb, and blind the lost sheep have been made by the white man. Arguing over a seat. So you got public accommodation. You can ride on the front seat of the bus. You can sit up and smell white folks next to you on the airplane and listen to all them crazy questions that they be asking you on the plane. Well, gee, where is it, girl? You like that. The water fountains are integrated. Now, it's no longer a colored water fountain and a white water fountain. You can go and drink after they get through slobbering all over the water fountain with their filthy selves. You can go and drink after them. You happy? Right. The toilets are integrated now. You can go in and sit down and listen to them strain and grunt and stink in the stall next to you in the toilet. You happy over that? You can sleep with them at the hotel. You happy over that? But now they have rolled back over 65% of the civil rights gains that Dr. Martin Luther King worked for. That legislation is taking them back, sweeping them back every day. Now everybody's worried about Jarvis 2, Proposition 9, Proposition 13 wiped us out, Bakke decisions. They're passing things and passing laws and things every day to ease you down, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and ease you out. Right. Politics has failed you. Religion has failed you. Some of you thought that if you could just get a good education, you don't get a good education. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said education is a compound word, educo or educare, meaning to lead or to draw out of one that which is naturally already in them. Did the white man lead or draw out of you what's already in you in these colleges and universities and these high schools and elementary schools? Or does he put something on you to cover up what's in you? You get your degree in quotology. You learn how to regurgitate back to the instructor what the instructor gave you, but you never learn how to think for yourself. And if you think too independently, they'll put a flag on your butt, an F. Say, nigga, you get in line. You follow it this way or no way at all. You're not independent. This is not independent study fool. This is a job training center. We're getting your butt ready for the assembly line. You're the nut, one of the nuts, bolts, or screws that's supposed to keep the machinery of this country rolling. You either go by it this way or get out and set up your own school. But you stay in there arguing. We're going to make the schools relevant. You show you the old slave don't know what's going on. You can't make the master school relevant. Education is supposed to be to the mind of man and woman what water is to the seed. Water doesn't alter the characteristics of a seed. Water causes the seed to burst and germinate, and what is in the seed comes out of the seed. That's right. If you had been educated, you would know your name. You wouldn't have a white man or a white woman's name. If you had been educated, you would know your language, your religion, your culture, your God. You would know all of that. Education is not supposed to alter you. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we receive a training or an education. It's like the dog and the hunter. He said the dog can be hungry as he can be, and the hunter takes him out. The dog will go out hungry as he can be and will go out and grab a bird or something and bring it back to the hunter with his mouth water. Didn't eat the bird. Hungry as he can be, and he'll take it right back. He's so loyal to the hunter with his mouth water. The hunter will pick the bird, prepare the bird, put it in the oven. You can smell the aroma of the bird cooking everywhere. Smell like one of them birds Sister Brenda be cooking over at the Shabazz restaurant. Had the aroma of the bird smelling everywhere. And the hunter would eat the meat off the bird and make the dog come around to the back door and throw him the bone. Here the silly dog is. He wasn't educated. He's a trained dog. There's a whole forest out there behind him. Woods everywhere. Instead of him turning around, going out there in the forest, in the woods, getting his own bird for himself, he hangs around to get the bones from the hunter's table. Because he's been trained. He's received an education from the hunter. And that's the exact position that we're in as a people today. White folks can go to school with us. They come out to make a job. We come out looking for a job. What's the difference in what we learned and what they learned? They got an education and we got a training. They got an education and we got an edumacation. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you can have your AA degree, your BA degree, your BS degree, your MA degree, your PhD degree. He said, but the colleges and universities of white America leave out the first degree. He said the first degree is a knowledge of your black self. And they're not going to give you a knowledge of your black self in the white man's educational system. Don't tell me nothing about no Crispus Attucks, fool. Crispus Attucks. Who is that? He's the first. Don't you know who Crispus Attucks is? He's the first one that died in the American Revolution. Who gives us so-and-so that he died in the American Revolution? Who did he die for? White folks. Did Crispus Attucks die because he was leading the Underground Railroad to freedom? Did Crispus Attucks die because he had shot 50 peckerwoods and was trying to free the slaves in the South? Or free them on the East Coast out there in Boston where he was? Did he? Was he a revolutionary?
No, sir.
Where did he die? He died defending white folks. The nigga should have been shot. That's right. Why should he have been shot? Not that we don't love all our people, but he should have been shot as an example. In a laboratory, no experiment is a failure. Crispus Attucks was an experiment. So he wasn't a wasted life. He's supposed to serve as an example for all of us that when you get out there with a gun in your hand, fool, trying to defend white folks, that you subject to get a bullet in your skull. That's right. Hanging his picture all up. George Washington Carver, we got a greater history than a peanut history. George Washington Carver, he did so many different things with the peanuts. So what? They don't even name the peanut butter after the brother. They don't call it Carver peanut butter, Carver crunchy or Carver smooth. They call it Peter Pan and Skippy, and skip right over the brother. Don't give the brother no credit. But you want us to glory in a peanut butter history. That's no education. That's not a knowledge of yourself. Teaching us about a black man who came up with something and couldn't do nothing for himself with it, he turns it over to white folks. So what is that to say to you? Whatever you niggas come up with, bring it to us, and we'll honor you every year for Black History Week. And it's really a Black History Week, not E-E-K, but W-E-A-K. It's as weak as it can be. White folks 51 weeks out of the year study white history and give you 1 week out of the year to study about yourself. They have a whole year to study their moment in time and give you only a week to study your infinity of history. It's an insult. That's not education, that's edumacation. Teach you about a hypocrite named Hippocrates and tell you that he's the father of medicine. And all the doctors in the medical profession have to take the Hippocratic oath. That's ridiculous. Imhotep, thousands of years before Hippocrates was a twinkle in his daddy's eye, was dealing with medicine on the highest plane.
That's right.
You're the father of it all. You're the mother of it all. Education has failed you. Education has not taught you what will make you a free, proud, and productive people in a nation and a land of your own. It has not taught you how you can be independent and not be ruled and misused and led as lost sheep by others. Islam comes after everything else has failed us. Religion has failed us. Politics has failed us. Education has failed us. Some of you have tried to join other leaders and organizations, thinking that that will get you out of this condition. Every leader that has come on the scene of any significance, Muhammad put his hands on. Imamu Amiri Baraka used to be called Leroy Jones, was married to a white woman. After all that, he later on talked blacker than 15 midnights. But before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad found Leroy Jones, or Leroy Jones, he was married to a devil. When the teachings of Muhammad found Leroy Jones, it turned him on. And he changed his name and gave the white man his slave name back and started calling himself Imamu Amiri Baraka, and took his children out of the devil's school and put them in the school that Muhammad had set up for the black child. He went through the black movement. Now he's in some other integrated communist kind of socialist kind of mumble jumble, mixed up, fixed up madness stuff. I don't know what to say about the brother. He switched up again. Elris Cleaver was nothing but a fool in penitentiary until the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad went into the dungeon of the jailhouse and found Elridge Cleaver. And he changed his name from Elridge Cleaver to Elridge X and became Minister Elridge X in the penal institutions of America, Folsom, Soledad, right here on the West Coast. Was a Muslim minister in the penitentiary. Was in jail. The only brother I know that had the nerve to tell you that he raped white women and tell you that he practiced those sisters first. And that he felt it was a revolutionary act to rape the white woman. This is a nigga that's just justifying a peace from the enemy. I'm not trying to be vulgar, but that's exactly what it is. That's revolutionary justification for madness. And puts it in his book, Soul on Ice. Elridge was a Muslim minister to the Black Panther Party. Became the minister of information for the Black Panther Party. He said, arm yourself or harm yourself. Get your gun, son. Resist to exist. Huh? Power to the people and death to the fascist pig. Oh, he was tough. He was bad. Then they got alliances with white folks and set up what was called the White Panther Party. Then some of them started laying up with white women. It was power to the people in the daytime, right on in the daytime, and right on to the bedroom with the white folks at nighttime. Before you knew it, the Black Panther Party started looking like a pink pussycat overnight. Elridge started flaking out when the movement came under pressure. Now Elridge is flaked all the way out, say he would rather be in jail in America than free anywhere else in the world. That's how much he say America is great. But the Panther Party grew out of the Nation of Islam. Bobby Seale, Bobby Hutton, Huey Newton, Elridge Cleaver, all of them were turned on by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There was no Panther Party prior to the 60s. There was no Republic of New Africa prior to the 60s. There was no Kawaida Groundwork Committee or US organization prior to the 60s. There was no All-African People's Revolutionary Party of Stokely Carmichael prior to the 60s. There was nobody talking like rap prior to the 60s. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad woke them all up. H. Rap Brown didn't have nothing to rap about until he heard somebody rapping at Muhammad's temple. He didn't rap at all until he heard Muhammad. He says that he heard the record of one of the representatives of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The white man's heaven is the black man's hell. He said, and that turned him on. From that point on, when he heard the record of Minister Louis Farrakhan, and that turned him on. Stokely was a young student at Howard University, going on kneel-ins and squat-ins and wade-ins and pray-ins and any other way they could get to stay in. Stokely was doing it until he heard the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and that turned Stokely around. Dr. Maulana Karenga, at that time called Ronald, was at the temple so often until many thought he was already a Muslim. Many thought that he was in process, and some thought he was a Muslim. He mentioned that the day he was here during Kwanzaa. He said, I used to be at the temple so much that everybody thought I was already a Muslim. He was right there under Minister John Shabazz. When the national spokesman of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad spoke anywhere in the area, he was right there. At that time, Minister Malcolm, before he went crazy. Wherever they were, Ron, at that time, was there. Now, has given up his slave name, and it's called Maulana Karenga, but it was Islam, and he admits that turned him on.
That's right.
Every last one of them. Malcolm Little was about to rot in the penitentiary of the white man until the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad went into the dungeon of the penitentiary and found Malcolm Little, and later he was to be called Malcolm X. No other organization would have accepted Malcolm. The NAACP wouldn't have accepted Malcolm. Huh?
That's right.
None of them would have accepted Malcolm.
That's right.
Because Malcolm, they would have said, was a marked man, a convict. None of them would have had anything to do with him. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad took him out of the penitentiary, pulled him in like one of his own sons, and taught him continuously. Taught him and taught him and taught him until Malcolm, with an 8th grade education, could go to Harvard, could go to any major institution of the white man's world and shut everybody up with the wisdom of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But nobody knew Malcolm Little. You only knew Malcolm X, because there was a man going around taking names. A man going around taking slave names and giving out X's. The X represented unknown. And it is true that black people in this country do not know their names. These are slave names that we're wearing. If you were on the Smith plantation today, you had to wear the Smith name. If you got sold to the Jones plantation tomorrow and the Jones white man became your owner, then your name changed to Jones tomorrow. If you got transferred tonight to the Brown plantation, then your name automatically changed from Smith to Jones to Brown. And it wouldn't say Willie Jones is for sale. It would say Jones Willie is for sale. Wouldn't say Elizabeth Johnson is for sale. It would say Johnson's Elizabeth is for sale. Possession, ownership. That's where you got these slave names that you're wearing in 1980. But Muhammad gave us an X. You used to sing about him in the church, the man going around taking names.
That's right.
Gave an X. Means unknown, not just unknown name, but unknown qualities in the man and woman. That which is naturally in them has been covered up. So there are unknown qualities in that man or woman. There's an unknown quantity of whatever good is in them. So they are like atoms that have to be cracked and germinate, and then what is in them will begin to come out of them. So the X in mathematics represents unknown name, unknown quantity, and unknown qualities that are in the person, and X means no longer. Many of you hate to wear the X. Be proud to wear the X. When Malcolm received his name, he refused to wear his name. He kept Malcolm X on his briefcase. He still wanted to wear his X. When you tell a pack of wood your name is X, say, what's your name? Say, I'm Robert X. Say, what?
Come on.
Who? Robert X. Say, what kind of nigga is this? That's what they start asking. Say, I'm Helen X. Helen 3X. Say, what? What kind of name is that? Say, something strange about this nigga. This ain't one of ours here, Bill. Somebody's been tampering with these. So we better sit down, buddy, and talk about these. Malcolm was made the man that he is, known as today by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
Cassius Marcellus Clay, like any other dumb boxer, he said he could barely read and he could barely write until he came under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Then he could get on any Peckerwood's show and put any Peckerwood to flight on the television and handcuff them with the wisdom of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
All of them that you respect today came through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
You can't name one. Brother Imari Abubakari Obadeli is speaking today over at the Kawaida Temple on La Brea. He's the president of the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa. They all were touched by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
He and his brother Gaidi, when they started RNA, and Sister Virginia, whose name now is Dara Abubakar, they were all touched by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There is not one that you respect of a revolutionary nature that was not touched by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Islam comes after everything else has failed. We've tried all of that, and none of it has worked for our people. It says in John the 10th chapter, the 11th through the 15th verses, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. But he that is the heirling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. Wallace Muhammad is not the good shepherd.
No, sir.
Wallace Muhammad is feeding the flock to the sheep, leading the sheep to the open arms of the wolf, straight in the wolf's arms. It says the heirling fleeth because he is an heir, and careth not for the sheep. But I am the good shepherd, and I know my sheep, and am known of mine. Says here that the good shepherd knows his sheep, and that the sheep know the good shepherd. So if you're following Wallace, or if you still got him in your heart, if you're following Silas Muhammad, or you still got him some kind of way in your heart, if you're following any of the leaders, Stokely, Rapp, Karenga, any of them straight down the line that are the students of Muhammad, then you are not the sheep of Muhammad. You are to be where you are, because we are in the hour of separation. This is the day of this divine sifting and separation, the manifestation of all defects, where everything must be put in its proper place. If you belong with with Oleo, some of us are Oreos, but if you belong with Oleo, you'll go where the Oleo is. But if you naturally are supposed to be where the butter is, you won't let nobody sell you no Oleo for butter. I don't care how they put the taste test on you, you'll pass every time. If you're supposed to be with the orange juice, you're not going with high C and tang. You know it ain't as nutritious as orange juice. You're not going to be fooled. It says the good shepherd knows his sheep, and that his sheep know him, that his sheep know his voice. When they hear the word and they say Muhammad's word, his sheep, those who are to be the foundation for the new world order and the building of the black nation, when they hear the word, they automatically can tell if it's the good shepherd's words or not. They can automatically tell whether it comes from Muhammad or not. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you got to stress it today, because there's so many Muhammads floating out there now. We don't want you to end up with Oleo when you're supposed to have butter. We want you to have the real thing. This is an artificial world where they push the artificial. Make you think you got the real thing and you ain't got the real thing. Makes it fair seeming to you. So the good shepherd knows his sheep, and his sheep know his voice. That's it. When the sheep hear the good shepherd's voice, they say, "Bad." That's him. But when they hear a voice that's not the good shepherd's voice, they don't say bad, they say boo. They know that ain't right. It says, as the Father knoweth me, even so I know the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. There's a man that gave close to 50 years of his life, time, energy, for people who don't care about themselves at all. Muhammad loves us and has loved us when we didn't love ourselves. He knew us before we knew ourselves. In fact, he had to teach us who we are. Imagine a man thinking about you when you ain't even thinking about yourself. You sleep, or you partying, or you high, or you getting down. And here's a man working in your best interest, and you ain't even thinking that you in a hell of a condition. You thinking you're free. And he can see the clamps coming down on you and the vice closing in on you every day. And the bars closing up on you. And the gas chamber door coming down on you. And the concentration camp gate closing on you every day. And the lid of the casket coming down on you continuously. Muhammad, the good shepherd, looked out for us when we wouldn't look out for ourselves. Stood up for us and faced this beast when we were scared to stand up for ourselves. Never did he back up for the black man. He faced him with no army by himself. He taught this teaching in the white man's penitentiary when they locked him up for refusing to go and fight for them in their war. He taught this in the penitentiary behind bars, that the white man was the devil, and started Islam in every major penitentiary in the country while he was locked up. Went to Washington, D.C. and faced the beast in D.C. and the FBI told them that they were the devil. In Washington, D.C. You weren't that bold, and you still ain't that bold. You scared to death. The white man come and you can hear a rat pee on cotton. You scared as you can be. I ain't scared. I'll kill a nigga. Yeah, you'll kill a nigga, all right. You'll shoot a nigga's brains out. Stab his heart out in a minute. But a little skinny, pole, gimlet, freckle-faced, buttermilk neck peckerwood can pull up and you scared to death. That's right. You give him your gun or throw it in the bushes. No, sir, we wasn't doing nothing. No, sir. Just a buck dancing nigga for the white man. No, I'm a nationalist, baby. You just the white man's nigga in a dressed up kind of way. And some of you bow tie wearing niggas is the white man's nigga. That's right. I'm talking to you today. That's right. This is the time of the rebuilding. It ain't rebuilt yet. Yes, sir. We in the basement right now. Yes. You the white man's nigga too. As soon as something come up, you run to the white man. Scared to stand up for ourselves. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stood up for us when we were afraid to stand up for ourselves. He faced this devil. When the devil came to lock up all the teachers for opening up the University of Islam, Muhammad went to the police and told him, look, I teach them what they teach at the school. I'm the one who set up the school. Let them go. If you want somebody, I'm the one to see.
That's right.
How many leaders you know would do that?
Listen, quick as up.
Huh? Nigga hide in the background and send the bail bondsman. But he ain't, if he get a bail bondsman for you. But he ain't coming. Muhammad say, I'm the one, lock me up. I taught them everything they know. I'm the one that set up the school. They say, well, Muhammad, you're contributing to juvenile delinquency. You've taken the children out of the public school. He said, no, if we leave them in the public schools, I'm contributing to juvenile delinquency. We got to take them out. We got to set them up. We got to set up schools for our own that will properly educate our children. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stood up for us when we were spineless, backboneless, weak-kneed, yellow-bellied, as they say, people who feared the white man to the very core of our heartstring. Muhammad stood up for us, willing to give his life at any time when we weren't willing to give our own lives for ourselves. It says, I will lay down my life for the sheep. Other sheep have I that are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Now he says, I got these sheep, but other sheep have I that are not of this fold. Yes, sir. Huh? Stokely is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's minister, gathering the people. Dr. Karanga is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's minister, gathering the people. And when I introduced him here during Kwanzaa, I called him one of the stars of Muhammad. And he came up and said, as Dr. Rashidin I know would have me to say, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, so-and-so, so-and-so, and he ran it down on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Right, if you run the Imari Obadeli, he's one of the ministers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Huh? Other sheep have I that are not of this fold. But he says, I'm going to bring all of them together. How you going to get them to come together, Muhammad? And the God that Muhammad serves is going to start chastising and whipping everything in this country until he whips it into submission. He's going to whip the hell out of you with your dashiki on.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to run right out of there to Muhammad. He's going to whip the hell out of you over there at All African People's Revolutionary Party. No, not that everything there is being taught. Great wisdom being taught in all of those places. But we got to put it all together. If I got 2 good things going in this organization and you got 4 good going in this one and here's one got 50 going, if I'm really sincere about the rise of our people, I'll take my 2 and put it with the 50. I'll take my 3 good things and put it with the 50. But everybody runs out to be a leader. All of these organizations splintered out when Malcolm split with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Before Malcolm split with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Karenga, Stokely, Rapp, all of them, Cleaver and others were looking at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And so was Imari and some others. And the brother who has the Shrine of the Black Madonna in Detroit, Albert Cleage, I think his name. All of them were looking at Muhammad. But when Malcolm deviated, the splinter groups started all over. So the Panther Party took 10 points from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's 12-point program, almost word for word. If you read the Panther Party 10-point program and read Muhammad's 12-point program, they only left out the 2 spiritual points. If you read the Republic of New Africa's program in the New African newspaper, it's the same program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Muhammad is the father of them all. He's the good shepherd that would lay down his life for the sheep, and has not left the sheep to be scattered, but has left one that he has shaped, molded, and fashioned for this time to be the one that all of the sheep could hear him through that one. The book says in Numbers that this one would actually become the mouth of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that he would be unto Muhammad instead of a mouth. That when you would hear him, you would hear Muhammad. When you would see him, you would see his Father in him. Because he's in the Father, and the Father is in him. Since you like that kind of talk, we bring it down to a real play. Minister Farrakhan, the representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is the only one on the scene today, and if you're honest with yourself, is the only one on the scene today that can get this black man up out of the condition that he is in with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. No watered down medicine from Muhammad is going to get the people out of this condition. Kawaida is medicine, good medicine. The All-African People's Revolutionary Pan-Africanist philosophy is good medicine. Nobody can deny that. The medicine of the Republic of New Africa is good medicine. And some of the medicine of the Black Panther Party of Brother Huey P. Newton is good medicine. But one must know the specific ailment, the specific illness, the specific condition that the people is in. Once you know what condition the people is in, and you know, and you properly diagnosed the case, then you can prescribe the proper medicine. And that takes God himself to do that because of the condition that this black man and woman have been placed in. If a person has a serious cardiac problem, you can take marine eye water and drop drops of marine eye water on their chest. Marine eye water is medicine, isn't it? No one can deny that marine eye water is not medicine. But it's not strong enough medicine for a heart attack. You can drop a whole bottle of it on your chest and pour it all over the chest. It ain't no medicine that's going to cure no heart attack. You can have brain hemorrhage and somebody bring you Carter's little liver pills or Doan's kidney pills. Carter's little liver pills and Doan's kidney pills, aren't they medicine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
An aspirin is medicine, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Would Doan's kidney pill do anything for your brain hemorrhage?
No, sir.
Will Carter's little liver pill put your brain back together and stop it from bleeding?
No.
Will it?
No, sir.
All of these are medicine, but we need the right medicine for the right conditions.
That's right.
And only God can bring them. So God has visited America in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Not a spook, not a spirit, as I end this lecture, but as the scriptures say in Matthew 24 and 27, as the lightning shineth from the east, even unto the west, so also should be the coming of the Son of Man. That God would come from the east to the west. Matthew the 24th chapter says, for wheresoever the eagles are, wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. So he would come where the dead body is, and of course the eagle represents America. He would come to resurrect a dead people. You've heard of the resurrection day, where the dead would get up on resurrection day. That's talking about you. You thought he was talking about somebody in a graveyard with some tombstones and a casket. It's talking about the 17 to 70 million mentally and spiritually dead Negroes in America. That's who it's talking about. This is the resurrection day.
Right.
God has made his appearance in the hells of North America and raised up a messenger in our midst. That messenger and that God have put their hands on one from among us and left that one to get us out of the condition that we're in. I'd like to stop at this point and ask if there are any questions before we close out. Are there any questions? We'll take maybe one or two questions, maybe two questions, and that's it, if there are any questions at all. Are there any questions from anyone? All right. If there are no questions, how many of you who are not yet members of the Nation of Islam understood what you heard today? Let me see your hand. Hold them high if you are not a member of the Nation of Islam, but you understood. Hands down. How many of you who are not yet members of the Nation of Islam, who understood what you heard today, how many of you believe what you heard is the truth and good for our people? Let me see your hands. If you believe it's the truth and good for our people, hands down. Those of you who understood it and believe it is the truth and good for our people, this is the real question. How many of you would like to stand with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Stand with the representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and help before it is too late to raise this dead people from their mental and spiritual graves of ignorance after 400 years. How many of you would like to stand with us and help us get this truth to the rest of our people? Would you stand? Don't lie to yourself now. All right. Brothers are going to pass out some cards to you so that we can get some basic information on you, so that we can give you our schedule here and let you know. You may be seated, those who have the cards, and let you know what steps can be taken, not so much to join the Nation of Islam now, but to at least join one of our study groups so that we can begin to study more about the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and what we must do in this very serious time that we're in. Over 68 concentration camps have been reactivated in this country. And this time it's not for Japanese, it's for us. The white man is shipping nerve gas all across the country. This time it's not for the Japanese or for anyone else, it's for us. For those of you who will be staying after the spiritual meeting is over for the Black Research and Topographical Center tour, where we go into this research and this information and everything that you see up, we have conclusive proof of what is being planned, the genocide plot against black people.
Yes.
So we appreciate your being as kind and as attentive as you have been, and the kind of audience that you've been. We do hope that those of you who stood were sincere, and that you didn't just stand on the emotion of the moment, but that you stood because you want to really unite. You want to see black people come together, and you want to see our people out of this condition, and you realize that nobody's going to do it for us, that we must do it for ourselves.
Right.
At this time, I'd like to call our beloved brother Lester before you, who will take up some charity for us. We thank you again for being as kind and as attentive as you have been. We meet here every Monday night and Thursday night for our study groups at 7:30, and we have other lectures here on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, every Sunday at 12 noon, and 2 o'clock on Sundays we have the tour dealing with this research on the condition of black people in this country for the Black Research and Topographical Center, and the training for the brothers is every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and the sisters are organizing on Saturday evenings, 3 p.m. and I believe also at 5 p.m. And we are anxious now to get started again with our martial arts classes, so we're looking for dedicated instructors who will stick with the class and not leave the class. Stay right with the class until the men are trained and until the sisters are trained. So at this time I turn you over into the hands of our beloved Brother Lester, as I greet you once more in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and surely his greatest messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and our reminder, Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet you. Assalamu alaikum.